This is not going to make this vinaigrette taste sweet, just so you know. This is not a sweet vinaigrette. Scientifically speaking, however, we found that sugar dilutes that fishy flavor that people get turned off from if they don't like salmon, which is why it's very often prepared in a sugary way, bourbon glaze, teriyaki glaze, and sometimes it goes overboard. A little bit of honey goes a long way in this dish. But a little fun fact, if you are using something like honey or molasses or corn syrup when you're cooking or baking, spray the little bowl with some pan nonstick cooking spray or your measuring spoon or your measuring cup, and it's going to make it come out a lot easier so you're not scraping away at your bowl all day. So let me take my whisk here. Give this a little bit of a whisk here. And as I said, this is an herb and caper vinaigrette, so we're just going to add a couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil to this. We found that the flavors of this dish are very similar to that of a beurre blanc, with the white wine, with the herbs, with the lemon. But we did some testing and we found that per portion, the beurre blanc is about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter per person, which is delicious. But for a nice light weeknight meal, we wanted to lighten it up with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. So it's really, I guarantee as soon as you make this herb and caper vinaigrette at home, you're going to double, triple it because it could go so great on tons of things, whether it's roast chicken or maybe some vegetables or maybe some Cheerios or whatever you want to use at home. It's tasty. I feel I can keep hearing very sympathetic laughs as we go along with this today. All right, great. Now let's plate our poached salmon. So I have these sitting. You do want to dry these out a little bit just because they're carrying excess liquid, and you'll see that the herbs and shallots think that they belong, but they don't. So you can just very carefully take them off. And you also don't want to eat the paper towel either, that's not very tasty. But one thing I wanted to point out to you before we finish up here is there's this gray line on the bottom of salmon. And this can also be fearful for some people, but do not fear it. As we said, it's very, very suitable to eat. It's more than fine to eat. In fact, it's probably the best part of the salmon to eat because it's super, super high in those omega-3 fatty acids. So I know it's a little bit fishier in flavor than the rest of the salmon, but please enjoy that because it is just so good for you. So we have our poached salmon here. We have this herb and caper vinaigrette utilizing everything we came home with from the grocery store. And gosh, this is just a really great way to cook your salmon at home. So here we have our second dish today, our poached salmon with our herb and caper vinaigrette. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm your America's Test Kitchen host. Please join me tomorrow at 11 a.m. before we get to Juneau, where we're going to talk all about salad. I know, it's very exciting. No, it's a really great